try to strategize how we can come together. It's going to take more than just prayer. The Bible said faith without works is dead. And so today we're here to strategize, to implement. We don't want to just be about talk. You know, too much talk we've had in the Bronx, but we need to be about action. So we're thankful for our clergy, and I want to just again commend our clergy that are here, because a lot of our clergy are out there in the forefront, and we certainly are grateful for you to be here today. So without any further ado, again, we're grateful for our Bronx District Attorney, Darcel Clark, the Honorable Darcel Clark, and she has a passion for our safety here in Bronx County, and also our councilwoman, the Democratic nominee for Bronx Borough President, our next borough president here in the Bronx, Vanessa Gibson. They're going to come this time. We're going to first start with our Bronx DA, the Honorable Darcel Clark. Let's give her a hand clap.
Thank you this afternoon, Pastor Jay, for opening up your doors for such an important occasion such as this. I want to thank Councilmember Gibson, Borough President Gibson. Thank you to all the electeds that have come out, because I know how concerned you are about our community, because you are just as concerned as I, as the district attorney. Thank you so much for the clergy. You always show up and show out no matter what. The clergy is always there, and I'm thankful each and every day for your commitment and your prayers to keep us going and to keep us strong. To the Precinct Community Council presidents, I see a number of you here. Thank you here, because you are that link between the community and the police, and that's what this is all about. It's everybody in the Bronx being concerned about the violence that we're seeing. I want to see outrage about the fact of the numbers of people who are dying in our streets, dying behind closed doors in our community. We are better than this in the Bronx. You know, so this past weekend, I got to tell you, I reached out to a number of you. I was so distraught. I was so frustrated. And I was told never use the word helpless, but sometimes you feel that, you know, because when I see people in my community dying every day, it hurts me. Every time I got a message about another shooting, that hurts me. Because I take that personally, because everybody in the Bronx is my family. And that's how I look at this work each and every day. And I know that, you know, I was elected DA and my job is public safety. I thank the police department for being there, because in that battle, each and every time one of those alerts came, that means that somebody from the Bronx Police had to respond to that. And they put their lives on the line each and every day, protecting all of us. And they don't always get the respect that they should, but their job is to serve and protect. So no matter how the community thinks about them, they're out there to help us. So that's why we call this meeting today, because enough is enough. You know, I get the numbers, and from September 3rd to September 6th, and then it added on, you know, 2 more homicides, even between, you know, Monday and today. You know, we had 7 homicide victims from September 3rd to September 6th. 7 people in the Bronx died. You know, we had 22 or 19 shootings. 19 shootings within 3 and 4 days here in the Bronx alone. And there were 22 victims of those shootings. And I live in the 4-7th precinct, okay? When those gunshots happened, 2 of those homicides happened right near my house. So I know what my community goes through, because when they hear it, I hear it. When I hear it, they hear it. And when they feel it, I feel it. So that's why I just reached out to clergy, I reached out to Vanessa, I reached out to Pastor Gooding, whoever I could, to say, what can we do to turn this around? I spoke to the police department, I spoke to Chief McCormick, I spoke to the Chief of Patrol, I spoke to the police commissioner. We have got to be able to turn this around. But like Pastor said, it can't be just prayer, but we need that prayer. Because I'm going to tell you, that's what got me through this weekend, because I was so disturbed. It hurts me to my core. So I have to reach out to everybody who I know feels the same way, that we have to strategize that. This is a responsibility of all of us, We all should be angry that we're dying in the streets. And as I reach out into our communities, I'm speaking to everybody. I'm speaking to that trigger puller, the one that made that decision to pick up that gun and shoot it and kill somebody. And I'm speaking to the families of those who have been harmed and killed by it. I care for all of them. My job is difficult, but it doesn't have to be, because if we as a community got together and really preached what we know is right, for us as elected officials to reach out to our constituents to let them know there are alternatives to this violence. There are ways for us to settle what we have to settle without the violence of the guns. We have to know that we are killing each other. This has nothing to do with other issues that are out there. This is us killing us. When they talk black and brown communities having crime, it is the victims as well as those defendants. And I care about all of them. We need to get together, sit down, understand what is happening in our communities, and each of you know what is happening in your neighborhood, in your community. We need to hear it from each other to see that we have so many things in common, and that we can come up with a strategy to help turn this around. I know it's going to turn around, but these are some dark times right now, and it upsets me to know that I have to call an emergency meeting to strategize, but we gotta have a plan, and I'm asking God to help provide that insight for us and for us to make it happen once we get that done. So I thank everybody for coming out today. I thank the police for being here, again, the clergy, the elected officials, thank you, because they're always talking about us as elected officials that we don't care. But I know we care about our constituents. And you are here because you care about the constituents that you've lost and those that you may lose, because if we don't get a handle on this, more people will die, and we don't need that to happen. So I thank you all, the precinct council presidents who stand as those liaisons, and other community leaders, the Cure Violence Group. It's going to take all of us to get this done. So I thank my staff as well, and just know that as we end these speaking parts, we're going to go inside and we're really going to put our heads together to come out with something that's really going to be helpful, so that we can have more than just vigils, so that you can go, clergy, more than just keep doing these funerals over and over and over. Our young people, we need to talk about how to get them jobs and programming and get them other things they can do besides picking up a gun or picking up a knife or dealing with each other. You know, we have all these beefs on social media, it's feeding into it. You know, they make a rap record and they're talking about each other and it causes violence. I mean, when I grew up, we need to teach them those old nursery rhymes we used to say. Sticks and stones, you know, and guns, you know, and knives will break my bones, it'll kill me. But names don't harm you, so we need to understand those simple lessons that we grew up on, to know that that's what's really gonna matter. Stop thinking about what people are saying about you and what they think about you. That's not what's happening. What's important is who you are and what you can be for your community. And that's what I'm asking everybody, to be here united together so that we can make that happen. So Pastor Gooding, again, thank you, and thank you everyone for being here.
District Attorney talked about those funerals, and one of my jobs is a eulogist for the last 27 years, and I've done over 4,000 eulogies in 27 years. Over the last year and a half, I have eulogized 6 young people that have been gunned down in these streets. One of the things that I often say is that, you know, when a wife loses a husband, she's called a widow. When a husband loses a wife, he's called a widower. When a child has no parent, they're called an orphan. But there's no name for when a parent loses a child. And too many times we're sitting there consoling parents, mothers and fathers, over losing their, I know what it is. Matter of fact, I just buried my daughter. Next Monday it'll be 1 year that my daughter passed away. And so I know what it is to lose a child. I had often said that for many years, didn't know what it was, but I know what it is. But especially to have a child lost through gun violence that's plaguing our streets. Too much blood is being shed on these streets. Kwame Thompson is here, and I thank God for Reverend Russell. We're out there, and Reverend Dennis, Many times when there is a shooting, we try to rally up our communities. And many of these other clergy that are here today, and as District Attorney said, we're having too many prayer vigils and too many peace walks. But when will this stop? So today we're here to say enough is enough. We're going to have a closed door meeting. The press will not be at this meeting that we're going to strategize. We do have we want to come up today. We want to leave out of here with solutions. We want to leave out of here with solutions. And so it will be a closed door meeting. But at this time, we're certainly grateful and honored because we was on the phone all day yesterday, the district attorney, myself, and our councilwoman Gibson, soon to be Bronx Borough President. And we all have a passion for what's going on in our streets. And I often say, if we say that Black Lives Matter, it has to first start with us. We have to stop killing each other. And too many times we're killing each other in our streets. And so at this time, I present to you our next Bronx Borough President, the Councilwoman Vanessa Gibson.
Peace and blessings, everyone. Thank you so much for coming this afternoon. Welcome to Miracle Revival Temple. Thank you to our senior pastor, my good friend Superintendent J. Allen Gooding Sr., and to all of our clergy and faith leaders, to all of our community partners and elected officials who are here, and staff. We thank you so much. To my sister in this work, our Bronx District Attorney, Darcel Clark, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. This is a state of emergency. We are in a crisis. Over the last several days, as you have heard from DA Clark, we have 7 families who received that phone call of the passing of a loved one due to gun violence. And I want to remind everyone as we begin these conversations again, that this is not normal and this is unacceptable. As we see crime reduced across the city of New York, the mayor and police commissioner were talking about it earlier this week. Every borough is down in crime with the exception of the Bronx. And so this is a call to action and a call to attention and really making sure that we collectively work together to save our children and to give our young people hope and opportunity when so many of them feel hopeless and feel that none of us care. Elected officials, community leaders, anti-gun violence advocates, district attorney, clergy, we are all united around this common purpose because we truly know that our young people are the future. They are destined and ordained for success. But many of them don't realize their potential and all of the opportunities that God is affording them because sometimes they're not shown any love. They're not being encouraged and motivated. And so we